Hello and welcome to my um controller review or whatever. So, today I have gotten the best controllers that I believe that are the best out of the big three console makers that we have today. Nintendo with the GameCube controller, Sony with the DualShock 4 because I don't have a PS5 yet, so I'm just going to use this one. And Xbox with their Xbox One controller. So let's start with the GameCube. Now the GameCube is one of my most favorite just controller in general because I like the way how it sounds and I like how it feels in my hands. And the button layout might look like a little dumb to other people, but from a functionality standpoint, it makes sense because you'll be using the A button the most. So the buttons are all around it. The pause button's in the middle. The D-pad could be a little bit bigger. And the only button that I don't like on this is that the Z button is actually really bad, and I hate it. Like this button actually really sucks. But the fun thing about this controller is that the analog stick, what did I just say? The triggers are analog and digital at the same time. So you can just barely press down and it'll still work, and you can press all the way down and it'll still work. So you don't have to press all the way down on the trigger for it to actually trigger. Yeah, the C-stick is a little bit smaller than the regular joystick, but that doesn't really matter, at least in my opinion. And yeah, I think it's one of the best controllers that Nintendo has. Now, this is the DualShock 4 for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro. It has a light on the top that indicates its battery, and it works on certain games. It also has an audio speaker, which the only controller that comes to mind with that is the Wii remote. And yeah, it has a classic design of PlayStation controllers, but I think this is the best one because the PlayStation 1 through 3 controllers are just the PS1 controllers. Like, I'm not even joking, it's just a PS1 controller. Well, this one is it's different, It has the PS button in the middle to turn on and turn off the PS4, and also it hooks up the PS4, the DualShock 4 to different other ones if you have it synced up already. The D-pad is actually quite unique for one like it. It's not all connected into like a cross figure. It still is kind of connected underneath the shell, but it's still kind of a unique design take on it. Now the triggers are only digital, at least I think they are. They're more responsive than the Xbox One controller because when I'm watching YouTube, I usually drag it across the thing, and it's definitely more responsive. These buttons, whatever they're called, R1, they're pretty cool. And the options in the share button, there's no more pause and no more start and select. There's options in the share, and there's also a big touchpad in the middle, so you could do stuff on it, and you can press down on it. And it has a standard button layout. I can't say ABXY because it's not ABXY. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I like to use this controller because I can't read. Anyways, this is the controller that I bought for my Xbox, Power A wired controller, because I don't want to use batteries. Yeah, it has the standard ABXY button layout. This is my least favorite of the bunch. The D-pad is alright, I guess. You can click down on the buttons, and I forgot to show that on the PS4 controller. You can do that too, but you can't do that on the GameCube, so that's one thing that they have over it. These buttons are oddly clicky, but they also blend into the controller really well, and I like that about that. There's the plug hole for the thing. These ones are digital, and these ones are just digital, and the start and select buttons, but they don't have start and select on them. They just have 3 lines and 2 squares. And I genuinely this controller is my least favorite, but it's also one that I like to use when I'm gaming on my PC and Xbox, because I don't know. It's just something about it. It's just like it's my least favorite controller design, but it's the one that I like to use most. And it is alright, I guess. But my favorite out of all of them is definitely the GameCube controller. And I just like how it feels in my hands when I'm holding it. And I like how it sounds. The plastic doesn't feel cheap. The plastic definitely feels cheaper on the Xbox controller than the Sony PS4, DualShock 4, and the GameCube. But these are, in my opinion, the best controllers for the for their respective companies. This is the best Nintendo controller. This is the best Sony controller. And this is the best Xbox controller. But I can't say this is the best Sony controller because I haven't actually like used the PS5 controller yet. So maybe the PS5 controller is better. I've heard it's better, but I don't have an opinion on that yet. So yeah, get a GameCube controller if you can. If you have a Nintendo system that supports it, I mean, like this thing is like actually super duper good.